Coming up, let's hear from broadcast visionary Bitcentral's Fred Forche.
You're watching YBL TV.
Fred, I understand you've recently announced an integration with Ross Video for automation control. How does this benefit the TV stations?
First of all, we have an integration with both the Ross Overdrive system, which we've had for a couple of years now, and the Ross Overdrive enables customers to automate it's a production switcher, to automate their production playout. We also have integration with the Ross newsroom system called Inception. And Inception would be comparable to ENPS or iNews as the writing tool in which producers put their newscast together. That integration allows us to have three major we'll call it newsroom systems that we integrate with now.
With your acquisition earlier this year of Fission, how does Master Control help offer the TV stations a complete solution?
Well, what we found is in a TV station you have separate systems that essentially are the same thing. You have news asset management and you have asset management for master control and automation. That's your commercials and other programming that you have in a TV station is in an automation system. You have storage for both systems that were separate. You have also the playout servers and ingest servers were very different, but yet they can be the same. So we saw that there was an opportunity there to provide a complete solution to a TV station and start merging together some of these components that just simply don't need to be duplicated. So that was really the goal behind this. Why Fission? Well, that software was very much along the lines of our software. Our solution, our core news solution, is a very streamlined approach from a workflow standpoint. It's easy to use, it gets the job done, it's feature rich but not complex. And the Fission software was very much the same thing. It is a very feature rich software, but it has a lot of simplicity to it in the way it's used. For example, in many master control and automation systems, you spend a lot of time, getting content into the system, checking things in. It's multiple steps. It's what can be done in most other systems in 3 or 4 steps is done in 1 step in our system. Also, because we're multi-format playout, you're not spending time transcoding. It'll play a 1080 file back-to-back with a 720p file. It'll play .mov with an MXF back-to-back. So people don't have to spend a lot of time prepping their content from a format standpoint to get it in the system. It just makes things go a lot faster. It's very rich as far as features go. We can, for example, manage a group of stations remotely to the point that you can have nobody on site if you wanted to, and in many cases, stations running the Fission software do that today, all the way up to scaling to a very large multi-channel program origination facility.
What do drones have to do with Bitcentral, and why do we see a DJI International drone in the background?
Drones are a great method to capture video. Unlike any other camera, they give you an aerial view of news that you just can't get otherwise. And they do it at a cost that is substantially lower than a helicopter or other ways. We look at drones as another camera and another source of video. So whether it's a live pack or a drone or a JVC camera or a Panasonic camera, we look at that as a source of video that needs to move into a workflow. So once you've shot video, now what do you do with it? That's our job. We are showing how the workflow works, so the video from the drone is a live workflow where you can cut highlights as it's coming in, and then you can publish those highlights to the web, you can publish them to your rundown, and so literally within a minute of that video coming in, it can be sitting in the rundown ready to play to air as essentially a highlight cut from that. So what we do is we have the ability to manage the live workflow, but once it's live and that's over, you want to take that money shot and you want to get it on air, you want to publish it to the web, you want to have it so people can start using that video right away.
You've been in the business now for over 20 plus years. Where do you see the future of TV?
It's going to look really different from what we see as, we'll call it on-demand type newscast, where you have to show up appointment viewing, you might say. I think that over-the-top TV is going to be one of the big areas that we're going to see a lot of expansion in, but how are broadcasters going to more efficiently deliver their content to that over-the-top world? I think there's a couple advantages to it. One of them is the viewers get what they want when they want it, but also from the advertiser's perspective, they're getting the consumers they want, and they're essentially targeting their advertising instead of broadcasting their advertising.